Good morning, everyone. This is Fist of Your Doom, here for a little draft recap going into the greatest showdown, hosted by Mr. Ogle Boggle. I'm sure everybody watching me knows him. He's definitely the biggest creator in here. But we've got a really strong group of not your typical upload guys. Hoping to have a good time, put some strong competitive content up for everybody to watch, get a little bit of an introduction for the Wi-Fi oriented people onto how competitive the showdown side of the community is. We've got a stacked lineup, like I was already talking about. We got a lot of DPL veterans. I would easily consider myself a bottom 3 coach in this, so I'm really going to be clawing for wins, but I'm all for it. I'm here for a good time. If I get my ass paddled, oh well, I probably learned something along the way. And if I don't get my ass paddled, I get to pat myself on the back. So we'll have to wait and see how it goes. But going into the draft, we did have pick 3. Had a lot of really strong mons on the board. We did go with a high tier Terra approach. Of course, the Brokens weren't allowed to Terra, but pretty much everything could. Stole a little bit of DGBA style on the tiers. We tweaked it ourselves, of course, but it's definitely inspired by their 25-point tier list with Terra attacks. Shout out to the Goat Yahoodles for letting us mug him for the dock and helping along the way with that. But they did allow some questionable mons to Terra. They did allow one questionable mon on the top end, being Chen Pao. And I went ahead and didn't get Chen Pao because it got taken the pick before me. Shout out to L5. But instead of going with the best mon on the board, I decided to go with New Toy Syndrome. And so we got pick 3 overall, Gouging Fire. Now you may be thinking, man, Gouging Fire looks pretty strong, but why the fuck would you take that pick 3 overall, you fucking donut? But you know, it's Terra, so maybe it'll be completely broken, and we just don't know yet. Either way, I went with the fun pick instead of the best pick, so we're gonna ball out with it. Of course, its biggest attribute is gonna be your Dragon Dance, Morning Sun, Flare Blitz, fill in, coverage, whether it be just Dragon Stab, what you Terra into, what have you. This thing is fat as fuck. This is what Zard wishes he was, outside of not having Tough Claws and being a little slower, of course, because you can run the boots and you can just sit and bully a lot of mons with this guy. He is just exceptionally fat. A lot of potential to cook with this guy. Does have his signature move that I don't remember the name of. What the fuck is it? Burning Bulwark. Yeah, fuck you guys for not letting him get Wisp. That really sucks, but you got funnier Wisp, so give and take. Give and take. But I'm very excited to use this guy. I was on a mission when the DLC came out, since I am in an ungodly amount of leagues to get all the new guys, and this was on the top of my list. I didn't think I'd get to use it with Terra anywhere, since so many leagues have moved towards mid to low tier Terra, but hey, I got my guy for this one. Moving on, round 2. I just went with my safety comfort pick. Zapdos is that guy. He is one of, if not my favorite mons in draft. Spam the shit out of this guy. They had him a little on the cheap side at 15. I'd probably put it 16, but that's just nitpicking, if anything. He is just your typical bullshit pivot, really good defensive typing, static because it's an unholy abomination. It wasn't good enough already. Had to add a high level of cheese into it. And that electric flying coverage is just super dangerous offensively. Not very many mons really want to switch into it. And the only thing it really lost in the transfer to Paldea was Defog and Toxic. And those are bitch moves. especially on Zapdos. Zapdos is built for kill, kill, and kill more. If I really want to get saucy, we do have an option for, a little sunny day if I really want to miss all my hurricanes but juice up the heat waves. It'd be a pretty brain dead decision, especially with our next mod, Iron Bundle, to run Manual Sun, but fuck, maybe I'll get some brain damage along the way this season and just start running some stupid shit. But Bundle is the most one-dimensional brain dead mod just about ever. He click Freeze Dry, he miss Hydro Pump, and he click Encore or Taunt, and then he flip turn or he U-turn, just like the draft player love to do. And I am draft player. I don't ladder. I only play draft. I only click U-turn and flip turn. Maybe even a Volt Switch or two with Mr. Zappington, because U-turns for pussies. You click Volt Switch. Or you Hurricane into the ground type coming in, and you rip him in pieces. Because Zapdos is that guy. He's the GOAT. But yeah, Bundle's just a mon I've really enjoyed using. I probably could have just let it sit till the end of the draft because so many people hate it so much, and it couldn't Terra, but I'm gonna hit my pumps, I'm gonna get my rolls, and I'm gonna pack them motherfuckers up with the Postmaster. Alright, now that we've got our little pivot core to get in the Gouging Fire, we've got some great special offense. I was getting a little spooked on removal, and I pulled the trigger a little bit early, and I got my boy Donphan. Of course, removal is sparse, to say the least, in Paldea decks, so I really just wanted to get a solid one, lock it down early, and shout out to JCaps. My boy really loves missing moves into the Sandvale, which I'm not allowed to run. Don't get me wrong, but like, I just gotta mention it for him, and I'm gonna DM him this video and see how long it takes him to catch on why I DM'd it to him. But yeah, he's a strong boy. He got fat Fizz offense and defense, and then he died a special move. He's very simple. Rock, Spin, Earthquake, Shard, or if I'm feeling saucy, I can go offensive, but it did lose Rock Polish in the transfer to Paldea, so it's a lot harder to pull off an offensive cleaner. But he does the damn job. He does it well. I can't complain. Moving on. I was really, really stumped on where to go from here. And I was told by my boy Raisai that Mr. Ogerpon, if I can fucking spell, Jesus, fit very well because he sucks up the water moves. And of course, double water with Bundle is never a bad thing. Bundle's an offensive piece, not going to switch it into anything. Then this also gives us, of course, a good spiker. Ogerpon Wellspring is a very good cleaner with your typical Trailblaze sets. Of course, it's got Swords Dance, all sorts of utility in here. It's got Encore, it's got Knockoff. I don't know why you'd ever run Leech Seed, but it's there. And you can pretend it's VGC and run Spiky Shield if I feel like having brain damage, but, to each their own. And of course, he pivots too. More U-turn, more better, because Draft League. That is the takeaway of this video. Click more U-turn, especially when you're playing against me. Just only click U-turn. Nothing will go wrong. I pinky promise. Pinky promise. But I haven't gotten to use Wellspring yet at this point. I'd only used Cornerstone when we were starting this draft initially, so once it was recommended, I said, one opinion is enough for me to make this decision. And I took it. And next, we have that guy. We got Metagross. Been playing a lot of past gens whenever I get the opportunity as of late. A little bit of ADV, a little bit of DPP, and back in the day, Metagross was the motherfucking GOAT. He was the king, and then he kind of got shit. He was pretty mediocre last gen. He was a good Mon, but he wasn't like, yeah, this is my Steel type, I'm so excited. It was like a, meh, I guess I'll take it. But I've always been a really big fan of the Mon, and then they gave it Psychic Fangs, so it doesn't miss send headbutt anymore. Break some screens, that's a nice change. Got knockoff, good utility, always a nice coverage option to have. And then they give this fat fucker heavy slam, so he doesn't miss meteor miss, as I lovingly call it. Never lost a game off that dog shit move. Which, into a lot of games, Metagross is just such a dummy thick boy. Meteor Mash is going to be weaker than Heavy Slam anyways. And so it's no drawback. Other than missing out on attack boosts on Meteor Mash, because I'm that guy. I'll get the boost and cheese the game out of you. Because fuck you and fuck your chicken strips. But with all the little buffs he got, and still having an option to boost speed, unlike most of the guys that had Rock Polish before, he's still got agility. It's a good, cleaner option with a weakness policy. It's also got good priority in Bullet Punch, so just trying to fill out a little bit of that on here. Priority is definitely important in this meta with how hard-hitting and fast-paced it is. But yeah, so far so good. Let me just clear this out. Get these bitches out the way. You don't matter anymore. Because we are on to number 7. We got Sylveon. It is a fairy type, and I needed that. It lost Mystical Fire. It don't hit the steals anymore. You just click the wish and you yell really loud with your Pixelate hyper voices, and you do your best not to let anything abuse you not having coverage. It's a solid mon still. It's the definition of average. That's why it was 10 points. But it's also all reliable. You can't go too wrong with it, and there wasn't a whole lot left on the board for fairy types that didn't suck complete fucking ass at this point. It'll be able to do what I need it to do for 10 points. Make sure I don't auto-lose to dragons, all that fun shit. And it'll be a good time. Next up, another old gen mon that mostly I just felt like using since it was priced fairly at 10 points. We got Big Lax. Of course, we didn't have a dark type yet, and so Ghosts clicked the funny Shadow Ball button against me. Of course, Sylveon's basically a Shadow Ball resist since it's so fucking fat on the special side, but I don't want to have to rely on that. So we got Big Boy Lax. He's got 3 great abilities. You know, if we're feeling a little saucy, we can run the Belly Drum Custop with some gluttony action, then just fucking delete something. But you can also just run your classic Curse Lax. You can just be a fat little bitch and sling out some strong attacks still. You got your Body Slam for Paras, 100% chance if you're good at the video game. And he's just a fun mon. He's got a lot of fat in his stat spread. Of course, defense is lacking, but 160 HP really makes up for it, especially if you're investing in the defense. And it's honestly just a mon I picked because I want to have some fun with it. A little CB Lax. Never hurt anybody, other than the person who's getting hit by it. Because of course, you got your double edge, and you got so much HP that you're not losing too much off it. And it's fun. It's funny. And at the end of the day, isn't all that matters being a little bit funny and being able to giggle while you're making moves in your games? Because that's what I think. We're here to have fun. Because this game is dog shit. Don't play it competitively. Don't go to tournaments. Unless you go in expecting just to have a good time and lose to some god-awful RNG bullshit that you had no control over. We play good video game. And we play good video game because we got goats like Mabostiff in it. Ignore that I just called it terrible. This dude is him. He is the first semi-viable Pokemon with Stakeout. If you don't know what Stakeout is, I don't blame you. Because it's only been on doo-doo, dog shit, garbage Pokemon before this. And now we have decent Pokemon. 80, 90, 70 defense spread? Painfully average. Could be worse. 120 attack, 85 speed? It's about average at this point. 120 is good, but 85 is disgustingly bad, honestly, when you're talking offensive mons. But I do have Terra on it. So if I get the matchup, I can just Terra Dark Crunch, and then on the Switch, blow up the resist. Because I forced something out, and doubled my damage. And that is fucking hilarious. Imagine you're just walking in, you're like, oh no, I'm so worried that I'm gonna lose to Gouging Fire, and then, what the dog doing? He just breaks my legs. Fuck it. We ball. And that's it. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. If anybody's gonna fuck me this season, just make sure you buy me dinner first. Or at least lube me up. I don't do that shit. I'm not gonna be able to handle it if you just dive into me. And I do expect to get freight trained a couple times. But that's okay. We're here to learn. We're here to have fun. We're here to be the DPL boys punching bag. Maybe punch up a little bit, get a couple good W's. But that's all for now. Gonna be uploading on Thursdays all season. So be sure to tune in. It is my days off, so I'm probably gonna be editing all my games in the morning of Thursdays. Cause fuck it. We ball. That's going to be the motto this season. Fuck it, we ball. I don't care how much better you are than me at the video game. I'm going to prep and play to paddle you like a naughty fucking schoolgirl. And you're going to like it. Peace out.